Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly leave your opinions in the comment section, subscribe, give this video a massive thumbs up as well. That way we encourage to put out more reliable and authentic news. Without wasting much of your time, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Primate Ayodele may have taken sides in the ongoing misunderstanding in the nation's hydrocarbon community. Using its platform to rally support for the oil cabal, it sends message to the president, who was not visible in his vision in 2023. Fortunately, President Tinubu knows Primate Ayodele better than Kyari. These were the words of Olabode, one of the defenders of a sacked NNPC boss, Mele Kyari, when Primate Ayodele told President Tinubu to sack him for incompetence. Primate Ayodele had, in August 2024, called on President Tinubu to replace the NNPCL boss Mele Kyari due to the issues in the oil sector. The prophet had said that if President Tinubu does not replace him, Nigeria's oil sector will continue to be disorganized, and a continued crisis in the oil sector would lead to protests against the government. These were his words. One of the major important things Tinubu should do if he wants to see the players of Nigerians, he should sack the GMD of NNPCL. If it is possible, he should be sacked before the end of this month. Otherwise, another big protest is coming. This protest can sack Tinubu and can make Tinubu's government ungovernable. If he doesn't do this urgently, Tinubu would put himself into the hot spot. Sack the NNPC. There is a lot of rot in the NNPC. Protest not yet over. I'm seeing another protest that would seize the economy for 120 hours. This statement, which was contained in a video that went viral, obviously didn't sit well with the camp of a sacked NNPCL group CEO, and in retaliation, they began to sponsor several publications against Primate Ayodele. Among some of their publications were cooked-up lies against the personality of a prophet, calling him different unprintable names, referring to him as one whose clients are oil bunkers, twisting his past prophecies just to say they didn't come to pass, and all sorts of things. Even when some followers of a prophet debunked some of their lies against the man of God, individuals in the camp of Mele Kyari went all out, paying several blogs to peddle false stories against Primate Ayodele. They even warned him to desist from mentioning Mele Kyari in his prophecies, but Primate Ayodele didn't flinch. Instead of listening to their rants, Primate Ayodele continued to warn President Tinubu to sack Mele Kyari, not because of personal issues, but in the interest of Nigeria and what God has told him about the administration of the NNPCL boss. Due to his continued clamor for Kyari's sack, his boys thought the prophet had any relationship with oil cabals in the country. They tried to investigate him but found absolutely nothing. The prophet was only doing his job as God's mouthpiece in the country. One would have thought that, as he advised President Tinubu to sack Mele Kyari, they would have at least sought spiritual guidance on how they can make things right for the good of Nigeria's oil sector in order to avoid the embarrassment of being removed from office, but rather, they started boasting of how the president would not listen to Primate Ayodele, listing the achievements of Mele Kyari, including those that didn't even benefit Nigeria. They were saying all sorts of things to discredit Primate Ayodele. However, months after, Mele Kyari has now been sacked by President Tinubu, alongside all members of the NNPCL boss, with replacements announced immediately. I have just one question for the Mele Kyari's camp. Where has all the boastings now gotten them to? Primate Ayodele remains a major prophetic voice in Nigeria, but what has Mele Kyari become? A sacked NNPCL boss who may even face more prosecutions. If there is one thing these folks need to take away from this issue, is the fact that pride goes before destruction. He who laughs last, laughs best. Let's have your total opinions in the comment section. What do you think of the administration and the tenure of former NNPCL boss Mele Kyari? To me personally, I think that, he has just one single, achievement, just one single achievement, I think, which is, can be classified as the greatest of all, is the resuscitation of the refineries, both the Port Harcourt refinery and the Warri refinery, something that the NNPC has been struggling with, something that the federal government not could not do all these years. Mele Kyari succeeded in resuscitating those refineries, which I think, he will be remembered for, which I think is one of his greatest achievements, if not his greatest achievements in all throughout, his tenure. What do you also think about Primate Ayodele, mocking or making jest? Because that is what I can call this write-up. Whether this write-up is sponsored is another story entirely. According to the write-up, they said Mele Kyari, was sponsoring different write-ups, different blogs against Primate Ayodele because it was calling for Mele Kyari's sack. Now, I want to ask, do you think that Primate Ayodele is so popular, so famous, and does his words carry so much weight that would now make Mele Kyari become afraid that the president might listen to what Primate Ayodele is saying, to the extent of going ahead to pay bloggers, to pay blogs, to write fake stories about Primate Ayodele, like what has been claimed in this post that I just read? Do you think that Mele Kyari would give a damn or care about what Primate Ayodele, was saying at the time? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you all think of this. Before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment is from Fiona Okpara, who says, "What is military coming to do? If they come, who will they leave their constitutional role for?" Rebecca Waziri says, "We hope that this new one will be better than Kyari. We hope so. We hope so, because what the masses want to see, what the citizens of Nigeria wants to see, is a reduction in petrol price. And just yesterday, after the sack of Mele Kyari, price of petrol has gone up again. I think that no matter what, the achievements, the buildings, construction and everything or policy does not matter if the pump price does not go down, because that is how the masses will be able to say that, oh, there's a change. Oh, I'm benefiting from this government. If there is no reduction in petrol prices, food prices will not go down, and it will continue to impose hardship on Nigerians. So which inadvertently means that, the president is doing nothing, because if I go to the market and then today and I buy something of 200 naira, tomorrow I go and they tell me that it's now 500 naira, and I say why? They tell me because transportation is now more expensive and all. We all know that in Nigeria, prices of petrol affect the prices of other things in Nigeria because we solely depend on petrol. What can we do as a nation? So what I'm saying in essence that, no matter the change, no matter the sack of Mele Kyari, if Nigerians and the masses do not experience, a downward movement of a petrol price, which means the president is not doing anything, which means people can still not get the dividends of democracy, because subsidy was what everybody enjoyed. Subsidy was what we knew that, okay, I'm getting dividends of democracy, at least I'm getting my share because I'm buying petrol. Even if I'm not buying petrol, I'm getting transport at subsidized rates. But now, none of that, no subsidy, nothing. The only way Nigerians can be able to say that this president is actually working is when, they experience downward movement of pump price. Bello says, he has destroyed the country policies and procedures. Now the government needs to seriously subject him to accountability for his leadership and prevent him from traveling. As Primate asked, where are all the boasting now? The issue with him is that he knows it all. Therefore, advice from professionals won't see the light of the day. He's not an engineer but a geologist, but he knows it all. Advice does turn to confrontation to his leadership. Now you are out, mister. You know it all. That's another thing with leadership, because even if he did not study geologist and he studied engineer, an engineer would still not know everything. An engineer would still not know it all. An engineer would still listen to other people's advice here and there and, make use of it. I just think that, some of his policies is contradictory to the progress of a country. Nigerians want to see the downward movement of pump price, but why are you cancelling the agreement you previously had with Dangote to sell crude oil to him in Naira, so that he can also sell petrol in Naira as well? Why did you cancel that? Since that agreement was made, Nigerians have seen, significant reduction in pump price, and Nigerians just started rejoicing all of a sudden. And you all of a sudden decided that it's the right time for you to change everything. For why? Why? which I think that, the decision for Tinubu to sack him is a very good one, because if Tinubu does not do that, it's going to make his administration even worse. Yo, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.